smoking from the
Same places, trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch.
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we examine, define, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. Tonight, we will be smoking on the saying, I'm rooting for you. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds. Myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali, Dawood L, and BK Soul Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling?
Peace, guy. Yeah, I'm good, bro. Like, how about you, man?
Yeah, G, double OD, thinking GOD, each and every DAY. What more can I say? Looking forward to this show tonight that we got going on. I'm rooting for you. Very
I'm rooting
interesting,
for you.
very interesting saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure the origin of it, but I don't know. That's something that we can get into tonight with the saying. But before we do that, let's make sure that we go and hit the like button, share the content, also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays. Also, go ahead over and get your copy of 1016 160 Self-Sustainability by the God Ali Dawood L at www.bksoulfarm.com. Link is in the description, y'all. And then also, don't forget right now, you got a chance to win $1,000 cash at DB Chef TV by posting your DB Chef TV merch. So the rules are: must be 18 to participate or with parental consent, must be a subscriber to the DB Chef TV YouTube channel, and then you go purchase your merch, link in the description, take a selfie with whatever you purchase. It doesn't matter if it's a coffee mug, if it's an apron, if it's a cap, if it's a shirt, no matter your purchase. Then you're going to want to post that to your social media, Facebook, IG, Twitter, and hashtag it DBChefTV. Most views and shares win. Contest end date is March 10 at midnight Pacific time. And then let's say you're not hashtagging it, because if you hashtagging it, then I'm going to see it, because we all going to be connected. All right. But let's say you forget to put your hashtags on there, but you crushing it with the views and you sharing. And when you share, y'all, let me remind y'all something. When you share this, you put in your caption, help me win $1,000 by sharing it. Okay? Because sharing is caring, and that's how you win. All right? And then you DM me the link to your post at DB Chef TV on IG, Facebook, Twitter. It's a public account. Anybody can DM me. I don't have anybody blocked. If you DM me, I will respond to you. The top 3 will be reposted on the network, but then we will have one lucky winner to get the jackpot of $1,000 that'll be paid via Cash App. I wish everybody good luck. Remember, a purchase is necessary to enter or win. All right. And you must be subscribed to the DB Chef TV YouTube channel. All right. And also know a purchase will not increase your chances of winning. Just because you buy something don't mean you're going to win. You got to get them views and them shares to get that bag. All right. So we hope everybody join the contest, y'all. And, good luck to everybody. So we appreciate you. And link is in the description to the merch. Also to bksoulfarm.com. And like we always say, if money's tight, it's all right. We just want you to smash the like, and we're going to love you for that. So we are smoking on the saying, I'm rooting for you. and let's get into these questions for I'm rooting for you. So, our first question of the evening is, what do you think of when you hear the saying, I'm rooting for you? Two, what are the pros and cons of the saying, I'm rooting for you? Three, have you ever had to root for yourself, and what does that look like? Four, when applied in real time, what are useful ways that I'm rooting for you can be demonstrated? And our fifth and final, last but never least question of the night always is, and in this case, is the saying, I'm rooting for you bad, good, or misunderstood? And we encourage y'all to stick around to the end to find out what the Cigarden Panel thinks, what their insight is about the saying, I'm rooting for you. And we're going to go ahead and jump into our first question. What do you think of when you hear the saying, I'm rooting for you, with the guy Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm?
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
So ironically, uh, I'm rooting for you. I hear two things, right? First and foremost, I think about Psalms 133rd, and I think about real friendship and real brotherhood and or sisterhood, right? Or kinship, right? And real support. Um, truly being happy uh that somebody that you are associated with closely, right, is winning, right, or has found a lane that has provided plentiful bounty to their life and possibly others around them, right? Like that's a wonderful thing. Like so, I hear that first, right? But at the same exact time, I kind of hear like a sneak diss.
A sneak diss.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Okay. A
Like,
sneak diss. They
like
sneak dissing with it.
like I'm rooting for you is almost like it's almost like when like at the like the actors like the stage actors they be like break a leg something like that when they go on stage. But like I feel like this is like really like break a leg, like really truly go out there and break a leg.
I hope you break your leg.
Oh, break your leg.
As you know.
Both of them, you know.
Damn, I thought you was rooting for me.
Like, that's-
Like
no, you
that?
know, that's what we say in theater, break your leg. You know what I'm saying? I hope you break.
That's crazy.
Right, so that's like I find that is one of those things that a hater can hide behind, um, and it can come across snarky and sarcastic without the actual love that is needed, or the compassion or the consideration. Because consideration is what it is. Because for your homeboy or your homegirl to have a whole idea and put forth their whole body politic towards their endeavor, all their sweat equity towards a thing, and that thing actually comes to fruition, right? Like you should be as ecstatic as they are for that process succeeding, right? Whether they make a dime or not, like because as a creator, you are happy about your creation, right? First and foremost, right? You are happy to create first and foremost, right? So the thing has to work, right? And if it just can't exist, it has to work, right? So like to me, like that support and that consideration for your effort, your sweat equity, everything that a person put in. to get where they are. I think that is super fire and dope. So like I say, for me, I'm rooting for you is like super dope. I hear songs 133rd. I hear like, let's lock up, hook up. I hear we all we got. At the same time, I see room for haters to sneak this and not really want to see you happy because they not happy.
Mm, man, that's a lot right there to hear. I'm rooting for you. Um, man, that's crazy. What do I think of when I hear the saying "I'm rooting for you"? Well, I guess I'm like, are you on the sidelines or what you gonna do? I might not need you rooting for me. I might need you to get in the game and you know what I'm saying, and box out, get a rebound for a brother or something. You know, like block for me or something. Or if I'm running, or let me block for you, and you gonna run like you. I can run. Your knees bad, Pearl. Your back bad. You know, let me run for you. And can you block though? Yeah, I can block. You know, I might even be able to strategize some plays or something. You know, so I mean, I don't know if you're rooting for me. Is you know, it's always when I hit. I don't know if it's always in your best interest, like you were saying.
It's
But
tricky, right?
yeah, but I would think, lending some positivity to it, that the person is really just trying to wish you some blessings on whatever you have going on. Kind of like fans. Fans are they hopeful that you win, but they not gonna do nothing but watch. But
which is
then
what which is kind of what you need them to do initially, right? You need them, like the creator need the like you need the fans to watch it for the creation to work.
right. Yeah. So I mean, so they are assuming their role correctly, and watching. But
The first part.
yeah, and just being in the stands,
Yeah.
as fans. But I'm thinking more so that like um, the rooting for you, I guess in today, like I don't know, it's such an old school saying too. It's like do you really even hear people saying like I'm rooting for you?
I'm rooting for you. No.
And that's why I said like
You
are
bet.
you going to do something or like because like I'm praying for you, I'm rooting for you, that those things all seem like the same thing to me. I'm rooting for you, I'm praying for you.
Good
I,
luck.
good luck, I hope you win. you know um but then like we said, like the action, if it aren't actions, like are you going to play,
Yeah.
or are you just going to be in the stands? Because you can kind of, it ain't even no kind of, you see your fans, like you actually see the fans because you see your engagement, because to be in a fan, it has to have engagement, you know but then like a personal
Yeah.
person just saying I'm rooting from you, a friend or a family member or associate and acquaintance, they, like since they all like the same thing, right? If they not actively doing anything to help you further your roots, to help your roots grow strong fruits and trees and plants and nourishment up top on the
I think
ground,
they lying.
then it's kind of like,
Okay.
how, then it goes back to that, how are you rooting for me? That part right
Yeah.
there, like,
Yeah.
are you hoping that I break a leg, literally?
Yeah.
Not just like it's show business. Go out there and break a leg. Like, nah, I really hope you. trip over and bust your, head to the white meat.
Man.
So yeah, it's a but that's what I get when I hear the saying, you know. It's a shame that it doesn't just stop at
Support.
like yeah, and like, hey, appreciate that, man. You know what I'm
Man, thank
saying?
you for
Like
that, man. Like
yeah,
I needed that, man. You
like
the more support, like
yeah, like it's like it's a shame that it doesn't stop right there, that it has to have these,
Correct.
that it's just like without action accompanying it, and then who it's coming from, and all of these different things have to be determined before you can give value to it.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, that's what we think of if we hear the saying, "I'm rooting for you." Moving on to our second question, y'all. Everybody who pulling up, make sure to smash that like button. We appreciate it. What are the pros and cons of "I'm rooting for you"? I'm rooting for you. That's the typo. But
uh, I'm
I'm
about to say
rooting
that's
for
different.
you.
That's different.
I'm rooting for you. That in my brain, it just shows how when you typing
Yeah.
fast and you thinking it and you thinking about it and you just like it'll show up in that form. So that's what it did. But you know, we're not trying to use slang. We actually are trying wanted to use you. So if you watching it, it's you. Wow, you is just blaming on the editor. But what are the pros and cons of I'm rooting for you?
I actually like the typo, right? Because it fits into the question a little bit. So clearly the pros are the support, right? Like the real actual actions that you need from your supporters, right? Because yeah, this is you are a creator, but this is a creative process, right? And you need feedback, you need response, you need to know that they like what it is that you're putting out, or if they dislike what it is that you're putting out, right? Like you need their participation, right? So obviously the good part, the pro is the actual actions behind their I'm rooting for you, because they're actually not just saying, hey, if you ever need any help, just let me know. Why they know that you got like an asshole to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and and they got free time right now. Um, the con is like I said in the thing, right? Like, I'm rooting for you. Like that YA, that slang kind of works opposite of, in my mind, it kind of works opposite of what is intended of the slang itself, right? So instead of it doubled down and on a bond and tying in and making things almost like a pinky promise kind of thing, because you're using your vernacular with your homeboy, with your familiar. It almost come like that's what you give. That's the lingo you give to the ops. So somebody like not, and I say ops because it's somebody that you really not going to do nothing for, and you kind of really don't care one way or the other, right? Like, and that's where the negative um support comes in from, right? Or the people that is tell you they're there to support you, or oh man, I'm looking out. I'm always, I'm checking for you. I like what you're doing. Tell me what you got. But they're not buying none of your stuff, or they're not making sure that your business is thriving or is afloat. Like they give you a bunch of words, They're not sharing your links. They're not passing it to their friends. Like they're not doing the simple things that you actually need them to do to keep this creative process thriving so that everybody can benefit, right? Like the creators can get their creation out into the world and it can benefit or do whatever it needs to be done. The people that receives the creation could utilize it or criticize it or do whatever it needs to be done to it, right? But it's a give and take, is equivalent exchange, and everybody has a part. And if people are not willing to play their part or willing to take a hoity-toity, high and mighty position of, I really hope you break your leg because I want to see how you're gonna recover from that, right? Because in this society, we got that whole we want to see people bounce back. We want to see their struggle. We want to see how they react in a struggle. We want to see how they recover from a struggle. We want to see if they fail, or what they call it, a relapse.
It's crazy.
Right? So we can talk down about their relapsing and about their inability to kick their addiction, right? Their problem, their actual problem. And while we're having this conversation, we're thinking to ourselves that we're being supportive because we're talking about it. We're engaging in topic about this thing, and it's like, nah, you are downgrading, you are denigrating it. You are my ops. You are not my friends,
That's crazy.
right?
Sitting there having a conversation, a convo with the ops, isn't it? Disguised as the friend.
This guy is a friend, right? So so to me, those are the pros and cons, right? You need, it has to be equivalent exchange, and the failure of that um is a huge con in my book.
Okay. So we are answering our second question of the evening. What are the pros and cons of I'm rooting for you? And like the guy was just explaining, yeah, it definitely should be a fair exchange. Um, at least with anybody that's supposed to be champagning your campaign. But but like you were just saying though, that's a con of it because it don't always mean that that's what's gonna happen. You know, um, we're not always guaranteed that that's what you're gonna get. That stuff worked good, but it's too shiny. Um, but yeah, but for me, God, the I would say the pros of it is it's like it's when you do have those things that you were mentioning, when you do have support, you do have engagement, you do have a team, you do have people that are interested, that 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 literally are rooting for you, but their actions match up with their sayings, with what they're saying. It's not just, yeah, hey, you know, I see you, and yeah, we root for you, like, but there is no uh there's no action that supports it. And then one of the cons, like even continuing on that same topic of like just in support in general, there is a thing where like people will say, well, I've been rooting for you, or I'm rooting for you. And it's like, then it's this like, now that you are, you know now that you have elevated in what it was that they was rooting for you for, like, you don't want a championship ring, like, now they want to pop the champagne with you. But the whole time while you was going through the season, they was nowhere there. They was nowhere there.
Who we think he is?
You know,
You think he the next Michael Jordan? Get out of here.
that type of
Until
stuff.
until you get 6 rings, right?
Right. I mean, but just as you on your first one, you know, they see you getting there, and now it's just like, well, you know, I was over here rooting for you. You know, let me tip the champagne with you. You know, and their actions weren't reflective of it. So I think that's one of the cons of it, where we have people that for some reason enjoy that. They enjoy rooting with no action. You know, and I'm thinking like if we looking at, you know, roots, with roots, you know, that's roots have to be strong and have to be good in order to produce fruit, in order to produce life. So, you know, you need some fertile soil too. You know, like the root ain't by alone by itself, you know. But
At the same time, like that root, like if it really want to live, bro, it'll pull what it need to pull.
from out that soil, right?
Yeah, it'll do what it need to do, bro.
And that's true. So that's where I'm saying, like, you know, that's a serious uh point where life develops, where a stage of something develops, of evolvement, of maturation, manifestation. So, you know, it could be one of them sayings that's like it's a real powerful saying, but people don't realize that like they're not they're just saying it, and without any action that supports it, doesn't give it the power that it deserves. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a I don't know if that's a con, you know, or if that could be looked at like a pro too, because it's just now you identify just people who looking, who just like, you know, like we said earlier, like just looking as who ain't gonna do nothing. They just going,
Looking, looking at motherfuckers, bro. Like
you know, they just like, yeah, 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 this, yeah, yeah, yeah. But they're not gonna show up though. They're not gonna show
I,
up for
I think the technical term for it is rubbernecking,
rubbernecking, yeah.
because rubberneckers have no intentions on actually hopping out their vehicles and going to actually assist in the emergency, but
No,
they will slow down.
hold
Some
traffic up.
come, some come to a complete stop, pull their phones out, and be like, "Bam! Look what I see.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm showing you this. I'm responsible for showing you. I'm the first one to post this live or whatever. Blah blah blah." Meanwhile,
If it look God, if it ain't a bunch on the other side, if it ain't like a bunch of law enforcement to where like they maybe got a car parked or a car or two parked on the opposite side, I be on the horn on their ass when they do that shit.
what?
I be on the horn on they, you know. But I only do it as long as it's no. If it's no, I don't care if it's 50 police officers on the other side of the road. But if it's a median and ain't none of them on this side, I'm on their ass. I'm blowing like shit. Like I'm
Like, get out of
blowing.
here! What
Like
you
move to
doing,
get
son?
you holding
Read-
up fucking traffic. Get the fuck down the road. The EMS is already over there. All of the people that need to be over there to assess, rescue, secure, and do everything they need to do is on that side. You ain't gonna do shit.
Nothing.
Go. You know,
Keep it moving.
going about your life. Be thankful that you not over there. If it's some of your people, they in the best hands they could be in right now.
Yo, you know what? You know the best thing the rubberneckers could do is push the button on a app that says report a crash, right? Push that button and keep it moving.
But I mean, I'm talking about the crash already happened, God.
Yeah, but when they do that, like it notifies track everybody else with they got the app or whatever that there's
Yeah.
an accident up here, and so you can either divert, if you're not there yet, that's what I'm saying, right? Like they can do that.
Ah, I get what you talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, like if everybody,
Yeah, they
you
not
know,
gonna do
if it,
that.
that's what they just
They using their phone to record. They can't do
just push the
that.
button. It's just
No, no.
like,
No, they might miss the action. You know, that's a post. They gotta post it. They gonna miss the action. They can't do that. It's too much like right. Nah, I just be on the horn on them. You gonna hear horn in the background, so they can be like, "Who is
well,
this stupid ass?" Yeah, I'm the stupid ass who's saying, "Be thankful for your life. Slow down, okay? It's good to slow down. No problem with a little slow down. All right,
yeah.
you know, just to be cautious, passing an emergency area, no problem,
20 miles below the speed limit on the highways where they say slow down.
and that's cool. You know, if it's 70,
Because you're still moving.
right, but not to
You
stop,
still, you're not,
not to stop and catch a hold.
you're still moving, guys. Like,
They stopping like, oh, I'm gonna get views. I'm gonna get views off this. They
man, it's
try to catch the whole scene.
yeah.
That's crazy. Let me see. But what we got? Who we got in the We got some people in the chat. Smooches, peace, peace. Love you,
Peace.
peace. Oh, for
Uh,
sure.
love.
Yup.
I see I go to Fork tomorrow. Oh, work.
Off work. Not off the fork. She's not. She's still eating. She's still eating. She's not off the fork. I'm not off the fork either, sister. So
Hell nah.
I just had put my fork down before we turned up, you know. But yeah, so definitely we appreciate you for pulling up. Please smash that like button. We appreciate you.
For real.
So yeah, so moving to our third question of the night, y'all. Um, and if you just joining us, we are smoking on the saying, I'm rooting for you. Let us know in the comment section if you ever heard that or if you ever heard anybody say that to you or you know how you feel about that. What's your thoughts on it? The whole saying, you know, from anything about it. Let us know. You know, exchange your insights with us, y'all. Let us know in the chat too if you live. Our third question, have you ever had to root for yourself and what does that look like?
So before I answer that question, that's not root for myself only. Like I'm the only person root for myself, or just in general, if I had to root for myself.
Have you ever had to root for yourself? You want me to go first? I can go first. Because I don't know what you mean. You just confused me. You know, you just
Nah,
confused me, God. You just confused
nah,
me,
I got
God. But
uh nah, like so I root for myself all the time, right? Like I think that you know I root for myself mainly. I think that's what I count on the most actually. Um that and that of my wife, right? But that's because that's my partner and like we need to, you know what I'm saying? Um but yeah, like nah, but besides that, like what is it like? Like for a lot of times though, like it feels real lonely, even though you have a partner, even though you got other people that you know are rooting for you. Um, the haters sound so much louder. The obstacles seem so much taller, right? Like it just seems like everything just seems so much heavier and you just feel like giving up, right? Or you feel like not even that you're gonna give up, but you can't give up because that's why I say, right, like every day you have an opportunity to be the very best version of yourself, right? And that's what rooting for yourself is all about, right? Because
yes,
like you gotta find what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like Like you got what Miss School said, if you see me in a forest, fighting a bear, help the bear. Like hell yeah, because I'm going for mine, right? So, but it's scary, right? It can feel lonely because you are there by yourself, going for yours, and and you have to be comfortable with yourself, right? Um, and even that's difficult, right? I gotta constantly remind myself, bro, to be my best version, right? To be my best, to be the best version of myself, to keep my guard up and put my best foot forward, right? And fear that I got so many people that got a bunch of fake faces that you can see, right? Like you can almost see they mask shifting, like in real life. That say I'm rooting for you all the time, and real deal, like soon as you turn your back or as soon as you walk away, like they looking for things where they can dig you and ding you, and it's like that gets daunting when that's an environment that. And granted, you don't have to do anything, but when you have a job, right, that you've been doing for a long time, and that job is what's providing for your family and your livelihood, and you've gotten comfortable and used to that thing, you kind of feel like I have to, right? Like it's not as easy to just um believe in yourself and take a leap of faith. That's why I say it's scary because you got to go for yours, and to do that is not always you got to do it with your chest out, but a lot of that is that big old breath you just took because you scared to death. You know what I'm saying? And that's at least that's how I get through it, right? Because there's a lot of things out here in society that's always talking down and talking negative and talking stop productivity. And I don't want to be a robot. I don't want to be sitting in a chair and being a battery and you know what I'm saying? And now I'm just fueling AI. I don't want that for my existence. Right. I want to maintain my producer status, right? I want to maintain my ability as a god, right? Because I do generate, I do operate, and I do demonstrate, right? And that's consistent, right? So I won't be denied. So yeah, yeah, I root for myself every day.
every day,
Every day.
every day. That's that one key thing that I was glad that you pointed out was because you always say it on IG. Make sure y'all follow BK Soul from 0378
Yeah.
on IG, and the guy always starts with many things, but today is a blacktastic day to be the best version of yourself. I love that. Um,
Man.
and to me that saying, that slogan that you use when you do that opening on your Instagram reels and posts, is rooting for yourself, you know, every single day. And then um the other thing you pointed out was just like having to be disciplined enough to say, to keep telling myself to make sure to reiterate that I'm doing it, basically checking your soil, checking your water, making sure, you know, making sure you ain't
You got
got no,
enough, right?
yeah, making sure you ain't got no parasites, no bugs or nothing on your leaves, or,
No
you know,
leaks.
no leaks, no, anything. So,
Anything.
that to me is what rooting for yourself, looks like, um, in communicating it. I know that one of the situations I wanted to share was was just like me going from the military, going from my youth. I just call it my youth into the military. Um, because when I looked around, it wasn't, it was a lot of people who were saying, I'm rooting for you, but you gotta figure out what to do, you know? So like so
Thank you.
yeah, so it's just like, hmm, I'm rooting for you, but you have to figure out what to do. So, you have people rooting for you, but nobody willing to give you any strategies or, or ideas of where you can apply yourself and be, and get rooted and grow, you know. So during that time, that was a time where um being able to identify that, not negatively, but just identify, like, what are your options, what are you um what are you doing, what are you engaged in, what have you been doing, being honest with myself, like, you know where were you the last 6 8 months? That was the last 6 7 8 months of your life, you know and what did you experience doing all that? Now you can either take that right there and say, you know what, I need to root for myself, and how I root for myself is even being uh scared at the idea of doing something, being strong enough uh and not allowing the fear to overcome me, to go ahead and make that move, and and go forward. So it is always some reservation and fear. That's a normal thing, but learning how to say, all right, well, if I'm just standing here just waiting, I'm gonna be scared the whole time. So that means that I ain't doing nothing. And then that time that I'm just standing here scared, waiting the whole time, what's getting done? Nothing. How am I elevating? How am I advancing? How am I improving? Am I really rooting for myself by sitting here being scared or something? You know, who's that gonna affect the most? It's gonna affect me the most.
Only.
You know,
Which
so
which don't mean don't be scared. Be scared. You are scared. Acknowledge. Still got to do that
yeah,
shit
I
though.
mean, but you gotta overcome it,
You still
right?
got to do it.
Yeah, you
Like,
gotta overcome it. I mean, if you're not trying, then you failing. So you
and that's a fact.
so if you're going to go, then you have to take that leap of faith, right? That's usually that leap of faith, or that step of faith, however it's, we don't want to get to, because Drewski just got some backlash of it. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. You got to step in when you need to step in
For being
for
a
you,
member.
for yourself.
Let
because
me show you what I saw.
because because God said, "Go ahead, go on ahead, you can do it." So um, so yeah, so that's why I think that rooting for yourself comes in, and not being scared. Acknowledging, yeah, you got fear with everything, but not being scared to say, you know what, I'm gonna be the best version of myself every day. Today is a day for me to be thankful. Today is a day that I can be better. And the only way that I can be better is to realize that whatever I conquered yesterday, I got something new that I can conquer tomorrow, you know, and I can create some more. I'm rooting, so you ain't got to just plant one seed, you know. I'm rooting for me. I need to plant many seeds. I need things to grow, you know.
Don't mess around. Let me find water down there.
You know,
I get the stretch. I get the stretching out. And I find that water. God,
hey,
I'm gonna
you
get
you
comfortable, man. I'm gonna get comfortable, man. I'm gonna just flow out and just do my thing and expand. What?
and
Because I'm
expand
rooting for myself.
because I'm rooting for myself. Absolutely. So, let us know in the chat, y'all, or in the comments below, if you ever had to root for yourself and what it looked like. Because, mine was personal. But I think everybody's is personal when you're rooting for yourself because it's for you and yourself. You know, I think that if we rooted for ourselves a little bit more, and we really, really put it in perspective or gave it some type of a meaning. We out here picking and choosing. There's no definition for this thing. This is a saying. So just applying some type of meaning to it, that can be useful, that can be positive. Um, who knows what that'll look like? But I know it's probably gonna look like something good. And that moves us to our fourth question. When applying I'm rooting for you in real time, what are useful ways that I'm rooting for you can be demonstrated? And if we put this in context a little bit better, it's even if I'm rooting for somebody, you know, so you can use yourself, you can use if somebody is rooting for you, you know, if you're rooting for a group of people, rooting for you, it doesn't have to be that you're on the receiving end. You could be the one, wishing the blessings, or the positivity upon the other person. What'd you say, God?
For me, it goes back to actions again, right? And and when you say how can it be demonstrated? Um, if if my friend, my brother, my loved one, um, created a film or created music or created anything, I'm going to take on a form of ownership and propel that thing as if not that it's as if I did it, but this is what I'm a part of and promote that thing, right? If we all took on part ownership of each other's endeavors and promoted each other's stuff as if they was our own, right? And it's really as simple as pushing the like button and pushing the share button.
A
Like
like and a share.
it's really that simple.
A like and a share. A like and a share.
But in
Crazy.
real life, right? Um, if if for instance, if my family were to look at my land that I purchased as land that we own as family land instead of that's our lease land over there. I can't do nothing about that land. That's just this. I gotta go get my own land because that's instead of hey, let's put together a plan to utilize this piece of property for the land. It's how I want to utilize X, Y, Z. Can I do that? Blah 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 blah. We actually formulate plan strategies, and they actually see themselves utilizing it, not necessarily on it, as if they're leeching off of me, but they're utilizing it, right? Um, in hopes to get their own land or their own property, some other place or whatever, or to expand on what we got already, right? But if everybody saw each other's thing as that's mine too, um, I mean, it's a grand idea. What I'm saying? It's,
Beautiful.
it's a total Ali-ism, and it's something that I do.
Heavy lifting's
And
been done.
and and personally in real time, it's heartbreaking, and it does cause sleepless nights because it's quite often not reciprocated, right?
Yeah.
So as a person who loves, like if I love you, like I love you, like and if you did a thing, I promise you, I'm telling everybody I know, right? And it's like it's but that's me. I might not be able to afford um whatever it is that you got, or I might not have the money right now, or whatever, right? But I can promote, I can be excited with you and help the process because that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to keep the creative process productive,
Right.
right? When they say, everybody talk about iron sharpens iron, you know what I'm saying? And everybody want to be a tool, but not for each other. They want to be a tool for the oppressor, but not for each other,
Right.
right? And I'm a craftsman. I'm not a tool.
Talk about say that shit.
You know what I'm
Say
saying?
that. Say that. I'm a craftsman. I'm
I'm
not
a
a tool.
craftsman. I'm not a tool guy. Like,
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
no.
I sharpen iron. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't look for shortcuts. I don't look for shortcuts to feel overly achieved. Like, nah. I get it though. I get it though. Yeah, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them too. You know that route where you just don't do nothing. You just
You
you
know,
know, you just a fan. Hey, I paid my price of admission. You got to do the rest of the work. You know,
you know.
that's it. But at least I'm willing to pay the price of admission. You know that rooting for you that you was just describing. That's that. I won't even lift a finger to help your
I
ass.
won't even lift my finger to help you, God,
I
because it's
won't even
really
lift
as
a
simple
finger.
as a like
Like
and a
and then
share.
share.
Like it's
Yeah.
that simple. Like it's so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's terrible, man. It's
It's
terrible.
horrible. But it's that it just lets you know that like, okay, people they'll lift fingers for people they absolutely don't know,
Yeah,
where it absolutely does not matter at all.
yeah.
But a person who could actually thank you, who could actually reach out and say, okay, um, you know what, I want to thank you. I want to, I just want to show some appreciation. But then people will say, when you have that mindset, like, why you want to do that for people? Like, they don't care if they already willing to just take,
Hmm.
nothing from some people online that they don't even know, and they willing to support them and watch that shit and believe it and everything else, but they know you and they won't even invest. They won't even lift a finger to help you. Like, they won't even hit the like
A
button
finger.
or share, right? Then why would you even try to, do something that resembles real love, you know, and like and some sharing for real. And I said, you know what, man, sometimes you just gotta do stuff just to see, just to see if um just to test it out, to because in your heart of hearts you would like for it to be a certain way. So if it's genuine, then you try it, and then you won't be mistaken by your result. So, that's what and I'm correlating to that, like, to this DB Chef merch contest giveaway. When when I look at it, it's like, okay, I could take this money for this giveaway and I could just invest it in, um, bots, or or advertisements or ads. You know, I could boost posts and do ads and stuff like that, right? And then write it off, you know, and not even look at it like it's a real big deal, and see what the, you know, the results come in for that. Did we get more views? Did we get more this? Did we get more that? But when you say, okay, well, if you have people, you know, within our network, the people that's within our network that watch us here on Cigar Sundays Live, and watch us on, you know, any other show on the DB Chef TV network, then it's like, okay, well, why not give back to that community? Yeah, it's not just a free giveaway, but it's like, if you purchase something, then you're going to be able to receive something in return. You possibly get to receive something in return. If when we have success with it, we're going to keep doing it, because what another thing that people may realize, like, you're going to have haters too. That's what I'm rooting for you, right? Where people automatically see something and be like, well, if he sell this amount of this, then he gonna get this, and then he gonna have this, and he gonna have that, and then, right? So people gonna do that, right? People gonna add you up. People gonna try to add you up, right? But I would say this: you could do it too,
You too.
right? You could do it too. I'm not going to agree or deny anything, you know, because some people math may be right, some people math may be wrong, but until they actually have a conversation with me that will be transparent, I would let them know what the math be, and I could still have to come out of pocket, because my I don't get as much from my distributor as some other people do. Okay, so I could still have to come out of pocket, being honest. You know, the goal would be not to that we support each other in the contest. That way I can keep doing it, you know, because if we had success, then it's like, okay, well, maybe we don't just give $1,000 to one person. Maybe we take 10 winners and give everybody $100, you know. But we can do that amongst the community, building with each other. That's part of that sharing. Okay. Because if you got to spend 10 to put your ticket in the hat to win 1,000, or spend 20 to put your ticket in the hat to win 1,000, like, people do that all the time. You know, they go and play the lottery and just be like, damn, it's gone. Don't even at least have a T-shirt to wipe your tears with. You know, so so we offering something, you know, in that capacity, and that's why I'm just like, okay, I'm rooting for people also to participate. If they rooting for me to win, if they rooting for me to be successful, if they rooting for DB Chef TV to be successful, and everything that we have going on within the whole DB Chef TV network, then it's not going to be, oh, well, I'm going to Gucci tomorrow, but I don't got a dub for, you know, this person right here that's supposed to be my friend, you know. So we see these things happening all the time, but it'll let me know that if in the long run, the success of running things like these, of running contests like these, lets me know if I should try to give share money with the people who helped build this,
Hmm.
or if I should just spend the money with, you know, the majors, the major people, the marketing firms and stuff like that.
You
You
mean
know,
the movers and the shakers?
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it lets you
Yeah.
know if you could, because I don't have to, I don't desire to do that, you know? Because it's about that word that you got, them two words that you got on your chest, family economics. So like
Yeah, God.
trying to actually practice something where you keep a dollar in a circle, you know, like, we don't do that on a regular basis. So if people don't understand what's going on, I'm explaining to you why I'm choosing to do this the way I'm doing it, because it is, you know, Kuja Shakali, it's cooperative economics, you know. So if you spend some money, then you have a chance to win something, but you spending something with somebody that you know, okay, and it can keep coming around. We can keep doing it, you know. And trust me, I'm not getting rich off merch sales. You trust me. I would need to sell too much, so much. You know, it's almost highway robbery. It make you wanna just print this stuff up and keep it in your garage and
Make you
sell
want
it.
to holler,
You know,
throw up both of your hands,
but
right?
I don't want to process payments and be responsible for people's financial information and stuff like that. And I don't want to do shipping. I don't want to run back and forth to the post office to send stuff.
Correct.
So it's a third party. We don't DB Chef TV does not, because you're not buying it off the site, because you're not buying it, purchasing it directly from www.dbcheftv.com, and you're purchasing it from from Teespring, which is our third party affiliate. We do not collect any financial information. Okay. Only thing we know here at DB Chef TV is that it was something sold. That's it. And what pennies we get off of
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Like,
And what pennies we get off of it. Like, but we want everybody to, and I'm not doing it for the money, you know? Because if I was doing it for the money, then I couldn't offer the contest the way we have it. We couldn't have the contest the way we have it, you know? So
I
they
guess.
say they say invest in yourself, right? Rooting for When we say rooting for yourself, I'm rooting for myself and my team and everybody that I care about and I love, you know. So that's what we doing with it. So we appreciate if y'all participate in the contest, show some love. Remember, it's shares and wins is what gets it. But if you really rooting, let us show us then. Show me then. And pick up a copy of 1016 160 Self Sustainability for sure. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what you rooting. Put your jerseys on. You know. Peace, God. Shout out to EL.
Peace, God.
7147. But but yeah, I mean, and that's the way it can be demonstrated in real time. you know, I ain't that, I ain't that with that. That's the way it can be, demonstrated in real time. If you rooting for us for real, um, but like we always say, if money's tight, it's all right. You can root for us by just smashing the like, something free, unless you are a I wouldn't lift a finger to help you type of mofo, then you know keep watching. We appreciate you because you don't know you still helping. Either way, we gonna get there. So what? Too much, God? Was that too? Did that sound arrogant? Did that sound
No,
arrogant?
I
Yeah,
was thinking how nice that was actually. Like,
that
'cause I
was
was thinking,
nice.
because I
Yeah,
was thinking so way worse. I was thinking, I
yeah,
was
but
thinking,
I'm like, we just gonna keep
that's
on going.
yeah,
We
that's
gonna
what,
keep
yeah,
on going. You
yeah.
know,
I'm learning. I'm
that's
learning.
all. That's all. That's all. Trust me, if they watching, it makes them mad that they still can see you, that you're still here. You're still here. Why won't you quit already? You know? No, you're a quitter. I know when I quit on something. And we usually don't quit. We just say, okay, let's leave that alone for a little bit, regroup, get our game plan back together, and reattack, reassess, and then reattack. That's all. You never defeat it. You just need to learn something a little bit more before you continue. So that's how we rooting for ourselves, and that's how we rooting for everybody else too. But if you just joining us, y'all, we've been smoking on the same. I'm rooting for you, and we've been going over our questions. Let us know what y'all think of in the comment section or in the chat, in the live chat. The answer to any of these questions, what do you think of when you hear the saying "I'm rooting for you"? What are your pros and cons of "I'm rooting for you"? Have you ever had to root for yourself, and what does that look like? And when applied in real time, what are useful ways that "I'm rooting for you" can be demonstrated? Whether it's you rooting for someone else or somebody else rooting for you. All right. Let us know. We curious to know, and we respond to each and every single comment. So we appreciate it, y'all. And don't forget to smash that like. We're gonna go ahead before we uh, go to our fifth question and jump into tonight's flavor bombs. So let's go ahead and get into those.
The Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DBCHEFTV.
Okay, y'all. So around the nation, there is this lawless gang of outlaws who is just, committed to immigration situations called ICE. And, it's protests going on up there in Minnesota. So we're going to go up there and we're going to check out those ICE protests and a real interesting story from them. And then also, y'all, in the world of college hoops, man, we got one of the biggest college basketball point shaving scandals to go down, in a long time. So we're gonna go and check out a story about that, and then we just gonna see what the flavor is. We just gonna savor the flavor on these,
Mhm.
you know. So let's go ahead and get into these clips.
Protests continue in Minnesota more than a week after an ICE agent shot and killed Renee Good. This comes as the Department of Justice announced it has launched investigations into Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. The DOJ says it is looking into whether they impeded federal immigration operations. And CBS News Miami's Ian Lee is in Minneapolis taking a look at this.
In America! Today, new rage on the streets of downtown Minneapolis, sparked by protesters in support of the anti-immigration operation.
Not everybody deserves to be here.
Leading the cause, Jake Lang, a January 6 rioter convicted and then pardoned by President Trump. Why are you out here today?
The replacement of white Americans by Somalians in Minnesota is a tragedy.
His supporters today.
Hold up, we gotta talk about that guy. He said the replacement of white Americans by Somalians in America is a tragedy. He late as shit. He late.
That's crazy.
He late, God. He done miss. Did he miss slavery? He missed slavery. He
Yeah.
wasn't around for it. He wasn't around for it. I can't, be too upset with his ignorance because I mean he just wasn't around for it. They ain't raised him no better, man. They ain't raised him no good. They ain't tell him nothing about his history or nothing. He just stuck on something. He don't know
That's
nothing about it.
crazy, God.
For real. He said that the replacement of Americans by Somalians in America. Crazy. Super crazy. But let's get back to it, man. This is wild.
Outnumbered by counter-protesters shouting for them to leave the city. Some 3,000 federal officers and ICE agents have been deployed to this state. More than 2,500 people arrested, tensions still red hot after an ICE officer fatally shot Renee Good 10 days ago. Today, protesters said the Arctic blast helped their cause.
We're ready for this.
That shit was crazy. Did you see how he just shot that? Like he was completely like out the way. He could have stepped back and shit and just let her go on about her business.
I don't think he had to step back. I think he was out the way.
That shit crazy right there. That shit crazy.
just, again, normal winter for us.
This, as a federal judge in Minnesota ordered immigration agents to stop using tear gas and detentions against peaceful protesters. The judge also ruling that agents cannot stop drivers or passengers without reasonable suspicion, and protesters can follow agents. Border Patrol Chief Gregory Bovino had this reaction today.
We're going to continue to use that minimum amount of force necessary to accomplish our mission.
The Justice Department is now investigating Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, accusing them of impeding federal immigration agents. Walz punching back, posting the only person not being investigated for the shooting of Renee Good is the federal agent who shot her.
Wow.
Yeah, straight like that. So what you think about that, guy?
I think the whole thing is crazy. But did they say that the law says that you can follow ICE agents? ICE agents cannot stop the car. They cannot. So basically, everything that she did, I don't know. So it sounds kind of crazy because I feel like there's you can't really protest right now. Like you go to that can be seen as like treason almost. Like it seems weird. Like it's like a weird state right now. Like, it's just I don't understand.
Okay, so
that was just weird to me. Like
look, we need to, we Cigar Sundays. We in the business of defining, analyzing, and examining, right? Okay, so some of the things that we know about that are facts. In America, you do have a right to freedom of speech. It does not mean that you won't be held accountable for some shit you said. So people got to stop tweaking off that.
In real time.
In real time. All right. Then also understand that, yeah, you do have freedom of assembly. All right. However, you still have to get a permit to assemble. Okay. So
every time.
Every single time. So if you don't have your permit or you do have it,
it's unlawful.
Then you over advertise and you have more people that show up, or you have groups that know that you got a permit, but they got a bigger agenda, so they pay some people to show up. However it look, the law enforcement is coming to shut that shit down because the contract is now void.
Yeah.
Okay. So people have to understand that, and that's what I think we see a lot of times gets played in the media and then played on people's lack of knowledge of how these things work and how they're supposed to be conducted or executed, in the form of a legal protest. All right. Not a peaceful protest, a legal protest.
Paperwork filed.
Yeah.
We got permission to do this.
Right. And if you go over your amount of people, you have to tell people to go home. It can't be no, oh, y'all came out. Oh, I'm so glad y'all here to support. Oh, it got out of hand. Okay. Well, that's why they coming. That's why law enforcement's coming, because y'all let it get out of hand. If this is out of hand, your permit only said 1,000. Your permit only said 300. It's 300 people and you have 1,000 people here. No, we shutting it down. Or send people home. And if you can't control them, then guess what happens? Then it looks like chaotic, because they came out there because they didn't want to sign up. They didn't care. They came out there with their own, probably personal, heartfelt grievances, and now it spills over into the form of, some news clips and then some people getting people excited. They emotional. They passionate about their, about their grievance. And some people get their ass whooped over it. So, some people came out there to get their ass whooped. I'm going to get my ass whooped today about this shit, And be careful with their ass for, because they end up getting their ass handed to them, because the people show up to hand out asses. So, it's one of them things where just like folks need to really know what you sign up for when you get involved with any of these protests for any.
I couldn't tell I couldn't, speaking of, people out be out there handing our asses and shit. Buddy that was talking about this is a regular winter for us. Like he had a big old smile on his face. Like he was like, yeah, like we ready for this. Like this is what we do.
Yeah, he was.
Was he an ICE agent or was
He's a protester.
he was one of the protesters? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a protester. Yeah, ICE agents ain't on the camera talking about nothing but handing out ass whoopings. What did my man with the crew cut? What did the chief say? He said, "Well, till we get the mission complete, we gonna make sure them asses meet feet." So he put the ass out there. That's what's going on, And we laughing and shit, but it's just because it ain't us this time. Ah, nah, but it's still fucked up. But what we had to realize though is that, man, it's a proper place. It's a proper place that you need to be in when you out here trying to conduct business and protest and stuff. And if you don't have your paperwork together, then a lot of times we're gonna keep seeing this shit like this. Okay, it's gonna constantly continue to be like this, no matter who's out there, no matter who's assumed being victimized or whatever's going on. It's still going to be chaotic because people won't actually follow the rules. And it's sad to say, but you got to follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, man, like they're going to say you breaking them, and then that's when the law is going to come, and we're going to see stuff like this happen. We definitely want to send some love and peace and condolences out to Renee. What was the young lady's name? Renee Good or something like that. To the family of the shooting victim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's tragic. I mean, it's a height to get deported to a country and then realize you wasn't supposed to get deported and then you get sent back. That might be a little trauma. You might get a paycheck with that, but you're not getting. Ain't nobody coming back from death. So what's those guys called? ICE, y'all gotta do better. You gotta do better. Can't just be out here blasting people like that. Like that's, a couple of the kung fu chokeholds, a little knee to the side. That ain't too bad, but can't be shooting people in the face, man. Like, that's a little bit too gangster.
Experts are calling this the most shocking college basketball scandal in years, something so large with millions of dollars on the line that they say it is incredible that it had gone unnoticed until now.
Backdoor cut, getting the finish.
Another loss for DePaul back on February 24th, 2024.
Henley, it's short. Georgetown survives.
Teammates Mac Etienne, Jalen Terry, Deshaun Nelson, and one other player not named, prosecutors say purposely underperformed, influencing the first half of the game. Georgetown was winning 41-28. Also winning, fixers, who knew the score would be lower than anticipated and waged $27,000 on the first half. One of those fixers, prosecutors say, traveled to Chicago and paid the four players $40,000.
All right, God, we got to cut it right there. That's the first half. Right. So we got the young guys from DePaul. They throwing games and shit. 40 bands. Young man in college. Don't know their situation. How much money they making. Their family situation.
They can make money in college now, can't they?
I believe so. I'm not accurate on it though, but I do know like they pardon me. I know my cousin was telling me something about they making money in high school now. Okay, or junior high school or some shit.
Damn.
So, yeah, he was telling me like they paying these babies, these young athletes, and all the way down the line now. So they incentivizing them from like 9th and 10th grade. So with that being the new thing, maybe it will be less of this. Because then when they get in their 20s, you know, late teens or whatever, 19, 20s, early 20s and stuff like that, and they playing at college, they won't be, they'll have some of that, you know, and they'll have some type of financial stability. So that way, or some type of reserve or something, so that way they won't be tempted to do stuff like this. But I'm also under the impression to think that this shit been going on for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And just because
it sucks though,
the NBA just finally, you know, they got some light pulled on their situation. Now they just sharing the light. Well, it's going on in somebody just went, well, it's been going on in the NCAA too. So I think somebody is now just peeling back the layers, trying to see how deep this thing goes. And they starting to uncover, like, it's not just in the pros, you know, it's in college, because college hoops is big too. So if we start seeing more stuff like this in college football, it's college baseball,
yeah,
and other sports,
yeah,
then we gonna realize, like,
it's been bots this whole time.
Yeah, like it's just been rigged the whole time.
They ain't never been on #1 smashes. They just bought spins and made you fall in love with the rhythm.
It would change, you know, it'd definitely be like, wow, like that's crazy, because
That's
you know,
crazy.
like this, like it's almost like this shit. If depending on how far they could go back with this, depending on how far they're willing to dig and deep and go far back with this, you know, with the NBA or college, it's like some of the most infamous games that we've had in college hoops and NBA hoops, maybe, you know, may have been games that were rigged.
Right?
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, man. That would, you know, that would hurt a lot of fans and stuff like that, that the players actually, you know, if this thing, but even something like this hurts fans. You know, even like something like that we saw with the Chauncey Billups and the other players that were involved in that.
Yeah.
You know, like that hurt fans too, you know.
Yeah,
Fans
because
like,
fans bet, and they betting on what they thinking is a fair game. Turns out that they're betting against the house two times.
right. And that part, and the ones that's just, I'm rooting for you, you know, like they paid a ticket to get in, and they
Correct.
come, you know, and they go there, and you know, they just really want to see you win. They really hoping that's gonna be their victory. They might have bought a ticket, and they had to say, and they made a foolish choice. Instead of watching it at home, you know, they bought one of them expensive tickets and was just like, you know, I get some money to pay the electric bill next paycheck. So you got both dynamics that make it, you know, that can make it hard for people to have faith in these in the games and stuff like that. They might start losing some viewership, man. I hope it don't hit them hard like that.
When criminals pollute the purity of sports by manipulating competition, it doesn't just imperil the integrity of sports betting markets, it imperils the integrity of sport itself.
The FBI says the scheme spanned 3 years across 17 colleges and universities, involved 20 players, and included dozens of fixed games, including multiple at DePaul. Court documents cite texts between fixers trying to recruit former DePaul forward Deshaun Nelson, calling the team at the time the, quote, worst team in the Big East. The team's Big East record that season was 0-20. The school told us in a statement that they were disappointed in their former student athletes, adding, quote, DePaul maintains a robust compliance education program and annually engages Epic Risk Management, the NCAA's official sports gambling education partner, to provide independent accredited training for student athletes, coaches, and staff. Former Bulls player Antonio Blakeney was also named in the suit for purposely point shaving while playing in the Chinese Basketball Association.
This is the most serious college gambling case we have had in 3 or 4 generations.
Lester Munson is a former investigative reporter with Sports Illustrated.
This is embarrassing for the NCAA. The NCAA has done a bad job of policing this kind of thing.
Also important to note, DePaul University fired the men's basketball head coach in January of 2024. Right now, no one else involved in this scheme is still working within the program. We're live at DePaul. Sabrina Franza, CBS News, Chicago.
Yeah, God. What you think about that?
Capitalism is a hell of a thing, man. Like when you chasing the bottom line and dollars is what you going after. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to entertainment, man, like I'm you know what I'm hoping at the end of all this, because like you said, with the whole Chauncey Billups and everything, and you saying down to high schools, you know, and whatnot, right? Like I'm hoping that as a culture, as an American society, right? We do a shift, not away from sports, right? Because athleticism is very important and much needed in survival and thriving in life, right? Like,
Health wise, yeah, it's good to get
you
out.
know what I'm saying?
Do
Like
some cartwheels and backflips, and you know, everybody
but
who old missed that shit.
but I hope that this changes the focus or the shift from the where the our only way out of the situation is through football or through basketball, right? Or I hope that goes away, because if it doesn't, we're never gonna get away from this, because you're gonna always have people that's gonna be willing to take money that need money, that need more money, that need more shine. And as long as that's happening, it can't be good entertainment. It can't be a fair game. And how can you, like, why would you buy a ticket to see any game? Like how do you
Yeah, if you
know
know it's
how
gonna
do
be
you
fixed. If you
how
don't
do
know
you
or not, if
how do
it's
you
gonna
know
be
how do you
fixed.
know what's like look at boxing now, right? Like Jake Paul, while he's brought a lot of money to the sport, also caused a lot of shined a lot of doubt onto the same sport, right? Like
He's not
now
boxing though, God. He's not boxing. He's not boxing.
you and I would say that,
Yeah, he's
but
not
but
boxing.
but then you would also have people arguing that, well, yes, he is. Just like you will have people that will argue that um AI musician, somebody that codes AI music, is the same as an actual musician, right?
Okay.
Only one of them can actually get on stage and actually play the actual instrument, which separates the two
Would
from
you say a musician, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I, like,
Definition of musician, you gotta perform it.
you gotta do it, right? Like you
Yeah.
gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta do it. Like so,
Yeah. But they both are makers of music.
they're both makers of, I'm not knocking that.
Yeah, we can give them that, but they're not a musician at all.
I'm not knocking that, right?
Yeah.
But you gotta
Play an instrument to be a musician. If
you
I'm not
like
specific, even though they might say, "Well, my computer is my instrument." Okay,
then get on stage and do that.
okay, but yeah,
Like
but then
like
I've
like
seen
like
that though.
like a
If
drum machine, right?
Yeah, you can
Almost.
get a drum machine. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you know,
that's but it's a drum. machine. It's not just a code.
Yeah, I've been
It's
trying
not
to
a it's not a snare code.
not a snare code.
It's not a snare code. It's not a hi-hat code or
And that's
you
what I'm
know.
saying, right? So like it just I'm hoping all this just shifts the focus to more tangible things that are needed in everyday life, right? To thrive, right? We need to get out of la la land. And I'm hoping that once we realize that everything, not everything, but so much of these games, like what you said, like what if all of the NBA finals have been rigged and like
That would be devastating,
you
you know.
know what I'm saying?
I'd be like, damn, Mike wasn't even supposed to get 6 rings, but he ain't earned that shit for
Think
real.
of- think about how many people done lost marriages because they done made bets or done lost their lives because they done made bets that they ass couldn't get them out of, right? Like over a rigged game,
Yeah,
right? Like that's crazy. That would be devastating, God.
yeah.
Like I don't like I think this is a I think it should be. I don't know if it will be. It might just be swept under the rug and people like, oh, I just want to watch the game. I just want to be entertained. I don't care if it's real or not. I'm not betting anyway.
Mm.
And you know, it's just
I'm like,
I
did they
think,
promise LeBron the ring in the bubble? LeBron, you gotta come to the bubble. We'll give you the ring. Just come to the bubble. Like,
oh man, God, like that like now you gotta go back and start putting the asterisk on everybody,
you
right?
know, you
And it's
gotta
like
go. What did Kobe do?
what did Kobe do? You
What
know
did Kobe
what
do? Did they just,
I'm
was
saying?
it really a, no disrespect to the black mama,
No, yeah, we just absolutely, yeah,
but
absolutely.
but I'm just like, man, like they got you guessing all, like it's starting from rigged games and how deep does that go to, whatever type of nonsense they got going on that they allowing to go on because that old man said that this had been going on. He said 3 decades. Did he say?
That's crazy, God.
He said 3 decades or half a century, some shit. You know, he made it sound like a long ass time before the spotlight been shined on college basketball being rigged. So if they're
Damn.
they're just getting caught. Even with the Chauncey Billups thing, look how long they had been doing they shit. It's other people that had shit going on way before them too. They wasn't the first. They wasn't the ones to invent the shit.
Yo, God, he said like
You
three
know?
decades and players are just now starting to get paid. So that
Yeah,
yeah, come on, man. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So yeah, that was the flavor bombs, and
You've just been Flavor Bomb, and now back to our show.
yeah. So if you're just joining us, y'all make sure to smash that like button. We appreciate it. Also, links in the description for merch and apparel and literature and everything we got good. We are smoking on the same. I'm rooting for you. We have gone over all our questions tonight, and we are at our fifth and final, last but never least question. Is the saying, I'm rooting for you, bad, good, or misunderstood?
So for me personally, the God Ali, I love it. It's good. Like, cause if I'm rooting for you, um, man, you almost got enough of you, right? Because I'm going to assist you in holding you accountable, right? Because
Ooh.
I want to see us win, right? I want us to support us always, right? So, and I'm hoping, right? Not even really hoping, right? Because I'm just assuming, because if you with me, that if I'm doing something, I got, I'm holding, you got the same charge, right? Like it's always vice versa.
Shouldn't
So
have to hope. It
that's
should
what I'm
be
saying. Like for
should
me,
be
like
it should be
it's
should
automatic,
see
right?
it. It should
Is
see
it,
it. You should see it.
you
Should be.
know,
When you can see shit, you ain't gotta ask no questions.
facts.
show up, show up, and no, I just talking bubbly gums, right? But I do think for everybody else, and maybe not everybody, but a great majority, it is a misunderstood term. Um,
Because while it's as simple as pushing like and pushing share, a whole lot of people are not honest with themselves out loud and ballsy enough to say that they are not willing to lift a finger for you in real life. They are they are very much pocket watching and what do you call it? When they be on your page, but lurking.
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 Lurking. Lurking. Lurking. Lurking, yeah.
Right. They don't want you to know that they looking at your stuff and adding to your views, but not actually pushing the like because they don't want you to actually get any likes. They want you to get the views, but they don't want you because they can't stop that. If they can look at you from a way where you don't get no views, they would. But
If they could look at you where you couldn't get no views, they would look at you and be, I'm gonna look at you, but you ain't gonna get no view from me. Not even from my pinky.
yeah, like because like like I think even when you scroll and it just start playing, like I think that even counts as a view, right? Like I don't think you got to even click the unmute button, right? I think, but who knows?
Nah. Up on the main, nah, that's a view.
That's a view, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's a view.
cats want to scroll by real fast. Like, nope, 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 nope. Nah, you too late.
Yeah, yeah, that's a view.
So yeah, I think it's misunderstood for everybody else, right? I think everybody else are not everybody else, but a great majority are a bunch of looking ass motherfucking rubberneckers that have no intentions on assisting in an emergency or in the emergency, and they just want something to talk about to expand their excitement in their life.
Very possible, very possible. I agree. Um, it's definitely good and misunderstood, and good for some of the reasons that you said as well. Um, but rooting for you, being the action, having that action, that's the good part if it's being applied there, having that action. And like you said, if I'm rooting for you, then you have me to access. Um, Share something real quick about the good part of it, and the misunderstood. So this is a good part and a misunderstood story to wrap this up. Why I think that is good and misunderstood. So last year I was trying to collaborate on a project, and in this project, um, I helped a lot. I contributed a lot in the project. All right, for the project to get rolling, and um, and then later on, when I thought that I could give constructive criticism, my criticism was not welcome, and I was told like I could kick rocks if I didn't want to do what I was told. So, you know, I chose the rocks. You know what I'm saying? Because, uh, because I just like
Easy choice.
like I ain't, so what I realized was that I was explaining that to somebody else, and and they said, they were looking at they were asking me what I contributed. So I, shared what I contributed. Like, it was no big deal. So they asked me, they said, well, you don't go and check and see how they doing? And I said, no, for what? And what I said to them, I said, that's sucker shit. I said, now, I thought that we were partnering to do things.
Yeah.
Because I'm rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? So you have access to me, us doing what we doing, my mind, my resources, my skills, because we doing it together, So then when I realized that you thought I was your employee, you know what I'm saying? But no fees had been discussed at all, you know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't charge you because I'm rooting for you, rooting for you from the ground up, from its inception. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you gonna grow, like, I'm here to help it grow, like, But then when you tell me,
employee is heavy.
yeah, but then when you tell me, well, if you don't like it, you can kick rocks, like, like, you don't know who you talking to, my friend, because those rocks, are unique to me, because I'm not gonna go and kick nothing that's gonna hurt my feet, So what I learned from that, when I was speaking with my cousin, and they was telling me, they was asking me why I haven't gone to go check on them, like going to go check and see what their progress is. And I said, because I was really rooting for that person. I was really rooting for them. So I did not root for them with my actions, like with my contributions, to then say, after things transpired how they were, to now become competition. They wanted to be my competition. That's why my constructive criticism wasn't received well. Okay? So it took me to understand that. Okay? But realize that, like, nah, I don't have to go check on nothing what they got going on. Because I'm not in competition. Everything that I ever contribute, I want them to be successful.
Correct.
So because of where it stands now, okay, then I realized that I was rooting for them more than they was rooting for me, more than they was rooting for us. Okay. They wasn't rooting for us. They was rooting for themselves.
And that was it.
And that was it. And that's what I learned. So that's why I said, it can be misunderstood, especially. It can be good when you rooting for someone, and that all the actions line up, and you see the progress, and you see the wins that y'all are having together. All right. And then it's misunderstood when people say one thing and then do another. Their actions don't match their words. So now, what you really rooting for? You probably just really rooting for yourself. And it works in situations where it requires yourself to do better in situations. But when you're working with a group, with a team, with a partner, with somebody else, then you're going to be having to root for y'all.
Facts.
So that means understanding that they're going to have a bad game some days.
And you might got to hold their head up.
You see what I'm saying? They might need to lean on you to score all the points this game. You might need to lean on them. It may not be even all the time. They might lean on you more than you lean on them. You might lean on them more than they lean on you. It don't matter, but it's still a team. If it's a team, that's what we on. So that's where I'm rooting for you gets misunderstood. When they don't realize it's a team effort, and then get the big eyes and the little U's, and people talking about, well, if you don't like shit, you can kick rocks. Well,
I'm just an employee. It's not us. That was huge. Like it was. It's not. They're not supporting us. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I ain't even getting no check. You know what I'm saying? Well, if I'm like, do I get a check? You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm missing. Am I furloughed? Cause I ain't get the first couple checks. You know
what I'm saying?
I'm like, oh, so nah, but it's not worth it to go and go be a looker. You know what I'm saying? When you was a person who helped produce, who helped create, you know, and when you genuinely want people to have success, then you don't regret your contributions.
No.
You know, you don't regret your own contributions. So we never do that. You know, because then you can't say, without me, you wouldn't even have had that shit. It's as sincere, arrogant, or wrong as it can be, because it can be all three. You know what I'm saying? People use it in all different ways, you know, but it could also be the truth, because we all have to start from somewhere, and we always need help with something, even myself. So the truth go to where the truth go to, you know. So we've been smoking on the saying, I'm rooting for you. Our first question was, what do you think of when you hear the saying, I'm rooting for you? 2, what are the pros and cons of I'm rooting for you? Have you ever had to root for yourself, and what does that look like? When applied in real time, what are useful ways that I'm rooting for you can be demonstrated? Whether for yourself, or rooting for someone else, or receiving it from someone else. All right? And last but never least, fifth and final, is the saying, I'm rooting for you, bad, good, or misunderstood. We just shared what we thought. Let us know what you think about all of those questions in the comment section below, and we will respond to each and every single one of them. Also, y'all, make sure to head on over to www.bksoulfarm.com and pick up your copy of 1016 160 Self-Sustainability by the God Ali Dawood El. The link is in the description. And don't forget about post your DBCHEFTV merch and win $1,000 cash. You can go on to any of our social media, IG, Instagram, or Twitter, and get the rules to the contest. We wish everybody good luck in that. And the links are in the description. And you know how what we always say, y'all, like, if money's tight, it's all right. Go ahead and just smash that like, and you know, and don't be a person that wouldn't lift a finger to help somebody. Okay? That's how we coming with it. What do you say, guys?
Don't be that person.
Don't be that person, right?
Don't be that person.
So that's what we coming with each and every Sunday, 8 p.m. East Coast time, right here, Cigar Sundays live. That's what we coming with. We want everybody to have a peaceful, positive, and productive rest of your week. Start to your week. Yeah, rest of your week, start to your week. You know, we say Sunday is the first day of the week around Cigar Sunday. So, you know, we'll see y'all next time right here. Until next time, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always with the God Ali Dawood El at BK Soul Farm. And that's right, y'all. We the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 Self-Sustainability. jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Post your DB Chef TV merch to your social media and enter to win $1,000 cash. That's right, $1,000 cash. Must be 18 years old or with parental consent. See contest rules for full details. Visit the DB Chef TV gift shop and post your merch to win.
Love ain't always easy, and we won't stop until we get it right. So bring that ass to the Love Speak podcast. Subscribe today and let your love speak at TLS Podcast. The Love Speak, now streaming on YouTube.
If it's Friday night and you don't have a date, then brunch with the fellas is your spot, so don't be late. We go up at 9 p.m. with the trending topic news. Smash the like, comment, subscribe, and share the content. Don't be rude at Brunch Fellas, now streaming on YouTube.
Exchange insights Sundays at 8 p.m. East Coast time with the Cigarden Panel. Smoking on words like two big nerds. Hosted by DBCHEFTV and BK Soul Farm at Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so when they go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live.
You are the key to your financial freedom. So unlock your inner wealth with financial fundamentals at Bows on the Table. Subscribe today and never miss a meal at Bows Podcast. Bows on the Table, now streaming on YouTube.
At the Veteran Kettle Podcast, we thank you for your service, support, and sacrifice to our country. Listen to real stories of adversity and triumph as we give our best to honor our vets. Subscribe today and watch episodes now streaming on YouTube at TVK Podcast, The Veteran Kettle.
Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at DBCHEFTV.com.